Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is CryptoTakeOver coming back with another video again for y'all this evening. And on today's charts, we are going to be looking over Bitcoin. And if y'all are interested in that, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I make a video every single day on cryptocurrency and on the Bitcoin charts. So we did have a recent drop here not too long ago, kind of like a little Bart Simpson pattern that Bitcoin likes to play on us sometimes. We were kind of expecting a little bit of a higher high, maybe to break through 10.5, but we didn't quite get that. And we are kind of in a consolidation area for right now. So are we going to head lower or are we going to head higher? That is the question after this consolidation happens. And if y'all are interested in that, please stick around. All right, so we're on our 30-minute chart right now. I'm going to turn on Cipher SR for us just to take a look, see what's happening here. And we can see that we are in a really tight consolidation area right now too, especially with our swing high and swing lows as well. We've been in this range for the past couple of days now. It's really been kind of a non-trading environment for me, at least. Just been kind of sitting on the sideline waiting for a proper setup and waiting for confirmations to know whether or not we should be expecting higher prices or lower prices here in the near term future. So we're going to take a look at our 1 hour. We can see that even our money flow is kind of unsure, especially once we start to get these really tight Cipher B patterns here on our lower time frames. It really can break either direction. So as we start to move into the higher time frames, those should give us an overall predicament of what direction these lower time frames want to play out as. And I'm actually going to turn off Cipher SR for right now, and then I'll turn on my whales buy sell signal. If y'all are interested in how I get the whales buy sell signal set up, y'all can become Patreon members. I have videos on how to set that up. Also, if my Cipher market Cipher indicators look a little bit different than yours, I also have those videos on how I set it up differently in the Patreon group as well. So be sure to check that out. Second link in the description box below. With our 1 hour, excuse me, with our 1 hour, we have. See, we can tell that we're just getting really ranged here, short ranged with our money flow, and no longer putting in big green dots either on the lower end. And we're not really extending too far above our 60% line on our Cipher B pattern as well either. So we can tell that this is just a really tight consolidation area for us right now. And more or less, we'll have a big move probably within the next couple of days, probably going into next week towards the end of February. So we really need to kind of consider well, what is the overall trend, and as we start to move in some of these higher time frames, we do know that we did have an upwards trajectory to move us to that 10.5 area not too long ago. So should we continue with that, or do you think that this is enough consolidation for us to continue more to the downside? So we did find support on our smooth 200 moving average here, just a tad bit. We can see that a 2 hour sell signal has been put in right now. Our money flow is in the green, but we've still had this kind of rounded area here with our money flow as well to kind of send us maybe even further back down like that. That's kind of what I'm drawing out from this, to put in a further move to the downside as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on it to see what's going to happen. But I did update the Patreon group to where I think and what our plan is for this as well. So I give a private signals group to my Patreon members that y'all can also become a part of using Discord in the level 1 tier of the Patreon group. So feel free to check that out if y'all want. And for right now, I can see that even our 4 hour is still in the red money flow here, maybe indicating that we still want to move further into this red territory or red zone for further consolidation out, maybe possibly to maybe come back down and retest some of these 200 moving averages, which are our green and yellow moving averages. We're currently trending below our 50, below our 21, below our 100. and below our 13 on our 4 hour. So we're going to probably get squeezed here. And I've been saying that we're probably going to get squeezed, and then we'll probably make a break to the upside or downside. So I'll be keeping y'all up to date who are members of my Patreon group first. Y'all are my first priority, and I take that into deep consideration, and I try to answer all y'all's questions that y'all have for me too, concerning the markets as well. I know some of the Patreon members have been looking at some other altcoins to kind of trade, ETH and stuff too. So I'll be doing separate videos on those, more or less. They'll probably will be private videos. I kind of just want to keep this channel mostly about BTC for the most part, and just kind of push videos out every single day on BTC. And I don't want to keep the videos too lengthy because I do like to do a deeper analysis sometimes on these Bitcoin charts as well. So we can see on our 4 hour that money flow is still moving into the red just a tad bit. I would say that we'll probably come back down and maybe even put in another big green dot here on our 4 hour because our money flow is pushing us down. So another probably big trigger or anchor wave for us to come back down and consolidate just a little bit more because our money flow is starting to get really thick in that reddish area there too. Our 6 hour. Now this was something that I had drawn out yesterday for my members as well, and that is this money flow just kind of rounding, ready to move to that bottom side territory as well, to that red area. So boom, all the way down to the bottom here possibly, right? And that's just kind of what I'm seeing on Cipher B, is that we've just been kind of making this rounded top area here, ready to start to curve back to the downside on our Cipher B as well. So we'll take that into consideration on our 6 hour as well. I would imagine that this buy signal won't last too long, and that we'll probably end up putting in another sell signal pretty soon. I just feel like we have had a nice little rounded or a nice big run up here to where Bitcoin needs to come back down and retest some of these areas, some of these key levels, right? We're getting squeezed right now on our 6 hour as well, between our 100 and our 21. So I would wait for that squeeze, and then ultimately this squeeze, what it kind of resembles to me is somewhat of a descending triangle as well. So we usually know that those descending triangles like to break bearish, which could ultimately send us down to this 200 EMA at about 9K area. And I've still, even on some of my higher time frames, have been calling for high 8s or high 8K area as well. And I know some of my other people that I've talked to, especially in my Discord group as well, which is free to join. I just have the private signals channel in there for Patreons only, that obviously you have to be a Patreon to access, but there are other channels in the Discord group that y'all can join. So let me pull this up really quick and show y'all. So this is the Patreon group, and y'all can feel free to join if y'all like. We talk a little bit about different things in here. Welcome discussion. So people like to share different things, and I'll chit chat with y'all in and out there every once in a while, but mostly I communicate with my Patreon members through there as well. And then also I have a Telegram group. If y'all are interested in joining, feel free to join the Telegram group. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see, CryptoTakeOver Telegram group. I'm just a part of a bunch of different Telegram groups. So CryptoTakeOver, feel free to join that. It's free to join. And I give y'all, I'll update with charts, market cipher charts in there every once in a while. And then mostly just announcements to keep y'all updated with what I'm doing as well, and when I send out newsletters. So feel free to check out the Telegram group as well. But the 6 hour is one that I'm going to keep an eye on, just because I feel like that this money flow is going to kind of push us down to maybe put in even some deeper trigger waves or anchor waves for us as well. We do have a bullish divergence here, but honestly, I've seen these bullish divergences never play out, sometimes on Cipher B as well. And so because we didn't get a big green dot here, I would imagine that this money flow is going to push us pretty far down to put in another big green dot, maybe come back down and retest these low 9, high 8s area in the near term future. Let's take a look at our 8 hour here. And then our 8 hour also kind of telling us that our money flow is kind of still at a rounding top area too as well, ready to kind of make its wave to the downside, maybe give us a big green dot as well. I would feel a little bit more bullish once I start to see big green dots on Cipher B. And once our money flow starts to move into that red area with some big green dots from probably our 6-hour to our 12-hour, to indicate the consolidation is somewhat bottoming out, right? Let's see. So y'all, I do have the Telegram or the newsletter that y'all can sign up for. It's free to sign up for. I send out updates periodically through there. Mainly, I'll give y'all a brief outline of what I've been sharing with my Patreon members as well in the newsletter that I send out. So sign up for that. It's free to sign up for. Also, I do giveaways. So you need to qualify for the giveaway, and the way to qualify is to get signed up for the newsletter. It's just an easy way to get in touch with you once if you do win. Yep, and so also I use TradingView Pro Plus plan. Feel free to use the affiliate link to sign up for that. I use the Pro Plus plan, which allows 5 indicators on the screen, which I would recommend if you're using Market Cipher. I know CryptoFace is coming out with an affiliate program also for Market Cipher, so I'll be making sure that y'all can get signed up under me. If y'all want to help support the channel, that would be awesome. And I know a lot of people have been asking me how I get Market Cipher, this and that, and hopefully I can do some videos on it once that comes out as well. It's not a confusing process, but I think CF, he obviously has a third party that runs CryptoFace support for him. So sometimes getting in touch with them takes a little bit of time. You just got to be patient. Let's take a look at our 12-hour here. 12-hour, I think our money flow is still looking for some reddish area. It does look like we kind of wanted to move to the upside here, but honestly, I feel like it's still going to be more of a rounded area for us to maybe put in another trigger wave. And then once we put in another blue trigger wave, then we'll probably start to come back to the downside. So we'll keep an eye on this. It might be a good idea to take a short. We do have a green dot here, which could send us back up just a tad bit. I would wait for another trigger wave maybe if you are thinking about shorting. Another trigger wave could probably send us back up to retest this 21 EMA on our 12-hour. Right now we do have a sell signal. I would imagine that this sell signal will stay a sell signal even if we come back up and retest our 21 EMA at about 9,700. We did get up to about 97. We got up to about 97.50. Our EMA currently is at about 97.90, so almost 9,800. If we do come back up and retest that, we're going to get squeezed probably between our 50 and our 21. And then when that squeeze happens, we could break to the downside, I would imagine, probably to that 9,100 area, that low 9 area. So I do have the ascending wedge that was drawn out here, and you know, the ascending wedge pattern that was given to us here, I did do a price target, and the price target I think was at about 8,500. So if we just do 1 point extension of our ascending wedge pattern to where we broke down, it's at about 9,500, 97-ish area. So I've heard some people calling for 9,500. I've been calling for about 8,800 possibly, and that is just one thing that we'll have to keep on our radar. Now, are we going to get a retest of this bottom support ascending wedge channel? That's a possibility. That's something that we need to be ready for. But also, could it be a fake out? That's another thing we need to be willing and ready for as well as also. So let's take a look at our 1 day here. Our 1 day still has our sell signal there, and I would say that based on our whales buy and sell signal, it's probably good all the way up until the 1 day, and then after the 1 day, I would say I'm just going to turn it off because it's been giving us some funky stuff on above the 1 day. But also the 8,800 level, why I've been calling for that is just because our 200 daily moving average is at about 8,800, and we know that once we get above this 200 daily moving average, that indicates that Bitcoin is in a bull run for the most part, but it has also come back down to retest that 200 daily moving average and then send us back up to continue our bull run. So I feel that we would more or less likely come back down to retest that 200 daily moving average and then continue back to the upside. So maybe not as low as 8,500, but it could definitely possibly happen. I feel that we still need to come back down to retest to make sure that we are in a bull run, and then we can continue back to the upside. So could be a nice little short entry here, or to be safe, probably just wait until we get the full sell-off or whatever you may have it, and then we can long from that position. So maybe ladder some orders all the way down to 8,800 to continue back to the upside possibly. That's a fair call as well too. We can see that our money flow is starting to round off just a tad bit. And I would say that money flow may be not turning fully red, but giving us a little hint of red here and there. We can come back to see when we did have a little bit of hint of red before we started our bull run. Back here, let's see if we can get this on the screen for us. When we did come back up above our 200-day moving average, and then to come back down and retest it every once in a while, we did have a little glimpse of red to come back down and retest it every once in a while. So that would be fair enough to say that we could end up seeing some reddish area in our money flow on the daily time frame as well to come back down and retest this 200-day moving average. But I think that might take some time. I think that we'll be moving sideways here for just a little bit longer, and then a market is going to tell us where we need to go from there. Money flow is kind of rounding off just a tad bit, but because we haven't really come back underneath the zero pivot point, we could get another leg to the upside possibly, giving us a little bit of a trigger wave here to send us back to the upside, to maybe put in another trigger wave to send us back to the downside. So I would see some consolidation out probably for a little bit longer if we don't have any major pumps or dumps, whales stepping in to buy and sell the market. So we'll kind of keep an eye on it just to see. I'll be keeping my signals group up to date on what my moves are and what I plan on doing in this market. To have proper risk reward management, right? We just don't want to do anything crazy. If we're at the start of the bull run, we just want to make sure that we stay safe, stay safe, because 2020 could be amazing for all of us. So just stay safe, use proper risk management. Don't try and bet the farm, right? And so Ledger is doing a giveaway right now for a free Ledger Nano S if you use my affiliate link down in the description box below. And staying safe, if you're just dollar cost averaging, that's obviously the safest way to get in and out of the market, to make sure that you keep your gains that you're doing. So you can use Ledger to store your crypto on if you'd like. Using the affiliate link below, you'll get a Ledger Nano S when you buy a Ledger Nano X as well. So feel free to support the channel. If you do want to leverage trade, it is a risky game, but also you can compound your interest and make some great returns on it. We use Bybit on my group as well, so you can use the affiliate link to get signed up for Bybit, but please use the testnet first by all means. And when using the testnet, you can make sure that you are a profitable trader, make sure that your algorithm is working, and from there, then you can start to deposit your real BTC on the exchange. If you are a USA resident, Prime XBT allows USA residents to leverage trade Bitcoin and a few other commodities as well. I use the Brave browser to browse the internet. It's a great way to browse the internet through an ad-free experience. You can opt in on ads, and if you opt in on ads, then you get paid out in BAT token. And as you can see here, I've been getting paid in BAT token for a few months now, steadily accumulating that. You can also tip content creators using your BAT token, the BAT token that's in your wallet on the browser as well too. It gives you your private keys and everything to take anywhere with you as well. Also, if you do want to start mining Bitcoin, I would recommend CryptoTab browser. It's just a simple way to get set up without using ASIC miners and, the whole confusing thing of buying these loud, obnoxious miners basically. And then you can just use CryptoTab browser to run your PC as a mining rig basically. And it's super simple to set up. You just sign in with your Gmail account and you can start earning passive income that way. I have it running on about 2 different computers, and you can use it on your tablet or your phone as well. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. Feel free to message me on those platforms if you want to reach out to me, or in the Discord group, feel free to message me as well. We're going to finish off the charts here just a tad bit. 2-day looks like we are clipping back into this reddish green or reddish money flow as well, so maybe somewhat of a fake out. And I'm just curious to know if we ever did get a fake out back here on the charts, with going back into our red money flow, coming out of our red money flow, and then immediately going back into our red money flow. I don't quite see anything really. So that is kind of interesting, because we just know that we're just in a really high volatility area right now. Heikin Ashis are starting to turn red on our 2-day. So confirming there that we could see a little bit more downside. I would say on our 2-day, maybe finding support here on our 100, or this is the 21 EMA, sorry. So right now we're still finding support at our 13 EMA, and then our 21 EMA, we are finding a little bit of support. I would say that if we dip underneath our 21 EMA, we need to definitely start to consider maybe the 50 or the 100, which is at about 87 and 85, 21 EMA at about 9,300. So we'll just have to keep an eye on our 2-day as well. Like I said, I'll be keeping my Patreon members up to date. If y'all are interested, I use a customized algorithm to have my EMAs on here as well. It's called the Aldo EMA. It's not an indicator that you can find. It's a private code basically that one of my other groups that I am a part of gave to us, and I'll be doing a video on that. I'll give y'all the code in the Patreon group as well, so feel free to become a Patreon member to understand a little bit more about what my charts and how I get them the way I customize them as well in the Patreon group. Our 3-day also kind of consolidating here in the reddish area just a tad bit. Like, we could come back down a little bit more in the red. Obviously we have our big anchor wave, maybe ready to put in another trigger wave to send us back down a little bit lower. Maybe not as far as this bottom red one was, but maybe about halfway from there, about a 50% retracement. So that is definitely a possibility, because as we start to move into our 4-day and 5-day, we can see that money flow was starting to trend off even on our 4-day here as well, to maybe come back down and retest this 21 EMA. And I'm just curious on our 4-day, if when we were in our bull market, we did have a retest of our 21 lot as well, even the 50-day too. So it's on our 4-day here. So we know that low 9, high 8s are definitely a possibility that we just need to keep an eye on as well. Taking a look at our 5-day here, can see we put in a red diamond as well as a red dot here on Cipher B. I think we got the red dot all the way into our 6-day. 6-day red dot hasn't quite confirmed yet, but it does look like it wants to happen pretty soon. A nice little doji to indicate a reversal here on our 6-day as well. So things could be heading back to the downside. We just need to keep a close eye on this next week and see how it closes. Maybe somewhat of a shooting star candle that is forming here on our weekly as well. Money flow still looking really nice too. So as we start to move into these higher time frames, they kind of give us an idea of where market might be headed to as well. Still have the big green candle here on our monthly too, but February is not over just yet. So this last week of February is going to be quite interesting, and we need to keep a close eye, use proper risk management if you are trading, and just be safe in these markets right now. Especially if this is a retest to make sure that we are in a bull run. We will have to, that is yet to be determined, but probably will be determined by the end of this next week. So be safe out there, y'all. Thanks for joining me again on Crypto Takeover. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's just give a shout out to the Patreon members once again: Black Wagon, BTC Punisher, Coin Chris, Greg, Haru, Ayuk Jonah, Justin Bryant, Conrad N, James A. Hunter, August Dogan Soy, Paul A. Keller, Pike 379, Shane Stein, Unique Object. Thanks, y'all. I think I got all the names right this time. All right, with that being said, CTO signing out.